The Raptors came out tonight and faced a Golden State Warriors team without Steph Curry, without Andrew Wiggins, and a team that on the road has struggled immensely this year. We played them in Toronto, and not only did we lose our fifth straight game, we came out and never even had a chance in this one. Beyond the first 6 minutes of this game, the Raptors were completely taken out of it. Every time we tried to go on a little bit of a run, anytime we tried to do anything, we just could not get a stop. The Warriors would come down and just start raining threes on our head, and it's just looking ugly right now. It's boring to watch as a Raptors fan as the team just lacks energy. We don't have any shooting to combat the sort of runs that other teams have been making, and our defense looks awful. So we have a lot of things to talk about because Raptors fans are frustrated, and people are talking about the potential direction we should go in after losing 8 of our last 10 games, and I'll address all those things in this video as well as this game. So a bunch of stuff we got to talk about. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 126-110 loss to the Golden State Warriors, and this was an ugly game. This was an ugly game. As I said in the intro, it's just getting boring to watch as a Raptors fan. This season I've never felt more just taken out of it because the Raptors, they've been lacking that usual energy, especially on the defensive end, right? Which makes the game exciting. Even when we're losing, right? If you're at least playing with some fire, playing with some fight, it's a bit fun to watch. So that's been just the most brutal thing to watch this season. And one thing people have been saying to shake the games up and stuff is, throw some money on some games, whether it be the Raptors or throw against the Toronto Raptors. That's what some people are saying in our Cool Betters Discord chat. But guys, if you're interested in sports betting, definitely check the link out down below. Sign up for the Cool Bet app. It's free to sign up for. It's the safest sportsbook you can use all across Canada. And, the Toronto Raptors, you might make some money betting against them. I'm not saying bet against them. I'm hoping they're going to turn things around as we'll talk about it as this video goes along. But Cool Bet, they get you wicked odds for every single game, pretty well any sport you want to bet on, and you're supporting the channel. If you guys sign up now and let myself or Goody know, we'll add you to the Cool Bet Discord chat, and then you can make those live parlays we have for the live watch-alongs. You can have some input on futures you want to make for, that they'll literally make. We talk to the bettors in the app, and I know there's I've been making predictions, right? My top 3 seed predictions not looking too hot right now, but a trade will be made come trade deadline, and we've talked when we said closer to the trade deadline, we can have some bets made about what players could potentially be moved, whether it be Gary Trent Jr. or whoever's out there. So definitely sign up for Cool Bet to get all those cool perks. Supports the channel out big time, and we're gonna need to support each other as Raptors fans right now, not just with Cool Bet stuff, just emotionally, because this team is brutal to watch. Watching them out there on the court right now, and it sucks because we're actually getting some decent performances as of late from our top guys. Right, Pascal Siakam, he's been great all season. He had one down game the other night. Once again, this one had a solid box score, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Missed a couple of shots he usually makes. It's been unfamiliar for him, but still, 1 turnover. He had Draymond Green on him the whole night, 9-20 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, knocked down 2 threes really early, and no hate can be thrown Pascal Siakam's way. He's doing all he can out there, and we'll talk about the reasons why the Raptors are losing. And I know people love to bag on him. I know there's lots of narratives going around hating on the dude, but Fred VanVleet in this one again, 22 points. 7 of 18. He still needs to be more efficient, but 4 of 10 from the three-point line, 40% behind the three-point line is pretty solid, but 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Yes, he could be more efficient, especially scoring on the inside, but I like his mentality, the way he's playing on the offensive end at this point, at least. And sure, he's a minus 27 for the game. There's definitely some issues with Fred that we're going to talk about, but not as much on the offensive end. I don't think all the blame should be loaded onto Fred VanVleet, and a guy that, I'll give him an award tonight. The Scotty Barnes Award, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 16 from the field. Again, not amazing performances, but our top 3 guys have not been horrific. They're not the guys that we should absolutely blame for the losses. I'm not saying that they're devoid of blame, which we'll talk about, but our top 3 guys haven't been horrible. And honestly, tonight, I'm getting all the positives out of the way because I know people are down on this team, and I'm the ones. Some people they roast me for my positivity with the stuff, but Malachi Flynn, the Crimson Flynn tonight, not an efficient game by any means, 6 of 16, but had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, And he himself is knocking down some threes. A couple of them came late where the game felt kind of out of reach, but again, we need shooting on this team, especially when guys like Gary Trent Jr. and OG Anunoby are out. We need Flynn to be coming in and doing some stuff. His play style makes sense in terms of what the Toronto Raptors need, so it's nice to see him at least knocking down some threes. But why did the Toronto Raptors come out and lose this game? Why are they coming out and just looking brutal as of late? And offensively, you look to the Kings game, you look to the Brooklyn Nets game that unfortunately we couldn't react to on Friday night, but you look to the game tonight, offensively, yes, we need to make more threes. Like, again, well, we had 39% from the three-point line tonight, which is a trend in the right direction. A big part of that is Malachi Flynn and Fred hitting a couple of Pascal Siakam hitting 3 of his 5, but, offensively, sure, we need to hit more threes and all that. But offensively, I said this in the Kings game. I was getting roasted, right? Moral victories and stuff. But our offense looks like it's trending in the right direction a little bit. But defensively, we have absolutely fallen off a cliff. And it's crazy to me because we have so many strong, even depleted, even without OG Anunoby and Gary Trent Jr., even without Precious Achiuwa and Otto Porter Jr., this Toronto Raptors team is loaded with our 6'9", quick-footed defenders. All right, that's what the makeup of this team is. We have a rim protector in Christian Koloko now at this point, even though he's fouling on the court left, right, and center. But Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet was absolutely terrorizing Steph Curry against this Warriors team in the finals last year. And now we're getting worked. Jordan Poole's coming out. How many points he had? He had a 40-piece on us. 43 points, a career high for Jordan Poole in this game. We just could not stop anybody. And whether it be drives in and kicks or whatever, we just let these drive-ins happen. These swings occur. And then if 2 passes are made against our team, open threes are just raining down on our heads. Just switch to a man-to-man defense, Nick Nurse. I know we run these weird schemes where we throw these help actions and stuff, where we force, whether it be middle, we let these drives sort of happen, we do these crazy rotations. And yes, those rotations work when you're running a lineup of Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, and a former Defensive Player of the Year, Marc Gasol. And then Serge Ibaka coming off your bench. Fred VanVleet, who's more mobile, who's more locked in, coming off your bench. Norman Powell, who's fired up, trying to get a contract, trying to establish himself in the league when he's coming off your bench. Right? Those defensive schemes work when you are built like a championship contender. You know when they don't work? When we have a roster constructed like that's right now disengaged. Sure, we have injuries and stuff, and fully healthy, we still have those on-ball defenders, but, naturally we have talented individual defenders. But right now, as a team, as a cohesive unit, we are just not working correctly. Our rotations are not as fast as they need to be, right? We're letting these straight line drives occur way too much. And sure, Christian Koloko is a step up in terms of what we had last season in terms of a rim protector, but he's only a rookie. He's going to foul, especially against a team of savvy veterans like Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, right? Whoever the heck you want to name on this Golden State Warriors squad, right? He's going to end up in foul trouble, right? We just don't have, even though we have the individual talent on defense, as a unit, we're not executing the defensive schemes properly as quickly as we need to be. And Nick Nurse has to adjust for that. He has to adjust for that. Regardless, I know he's probably salivating at the quickness, at the speed Masai Ujiri gave him, but if we're not able to execute the schemes that we need to run defensively, things just aren't going to work. And we saw it tonight. We were absolutely crushed, right? For the 39% we shot from behind the three-point line, the Golden State Warriors shot 46%. And that's what's going to happen when you leave a decent three-point shooting team, right? They're good. Okay, good three-point shooting team. They're amazing with Steph Curry in the lineup, but a good three-point shooting team with Steph Curry out of it. And sure, you might be able to argue 3 of 6 for Draymond Green. That's better than he usually does. But we're giving guys like Lamb, Ty Jerome, all these guys just open looks, and they're knocking them down. And there's no excuse for it, especially against a Golden State Warriors team that are looking for those shots, right? Jordan Poole hit 5 tonight. Klay Thompson hit 3. Like, we're not going to win games just giving up 3 after 3 after 3, open look after open look after open look. So things need to get fixed defensively on that front. And I called out Nick Nurse. I'm also going to call out Fred because I gave him some positive. I gave him some, spread some positivity regarding Fred VanVleet at the start of this podcast, but Fred gotta stop just getting blown by. When he locks in, when he's fully engaged for every possession now and then, right? He's good. Like, I don't think Fred VanVleet's as bad of a defender as he's been showing in recent weeks, but, you know, it seems like ever since Tyrese Maxey just absolutely cooked him in the playoffs, other teams just have so much more confidence than they did over Fred VanVleet. This time, even last year, right on the defensive end. Fred used to be picking more pockets. His hands were a bit more engaged, and I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know if it's a recovery from injuries, a step slower, but right now, Fred VanVleet, he's really struggling to guard people. And he has the strength, he has the size, he usually has the quickness to be able to do it, right? We saw it in an NBA Finals run. We saw it when he was playing more off the ball with Kyle Lowry, right? He'd be switching on the guards, and he'd just be quickly jumping in front of people, right? Taller guards, but he just uses strength to not get bullied, and Fred just hasn't been doing it. And another guy rolled his ankle once again at the end of this game, but Scotty Barnes, he wasn't this bad of a defender last season. But once again, he's just sort of, you know, playing that, what do they always say in 2K, like the old 2Ks, Ole defense or whatever, but, you know, you let that drop happen, right? They attack high foot, and you got to be able to recover. And Scotty Barnes right now, after that first action where they make those drives, is kind of just letting them blow by. He's not looking for block shots. He's not looking for really anything out there. And, you know, Scotty Barnes, if he wants to be elite, if he wants to be that two-way guy that the Toronto Raptors draft him for, yes, that's what Scotty Barnes was drafted for. We all got hyped up over the summer. We got hyped up with his rookie of the year about, oh, maybe he could be a superstar and all that. But Scotty Barnes was drafted to be one of those high energy, right, high IQ basketball players. And high energy, high IQ, similar to what Pascal Siakam was drafted as, and he grew into a star, right? Pascal Siakam, when he was going through his growing pains, he was going through something similar, right? You're getting away from what you were naturally good at coming into the league. And Scotty Barnes, slashing and defense. That's what his his value adds were when we drafted him with the 4th overall pick. Sure, the passing was remarkable this season. He has improved jump shot, all that sort of stuff. Makes us happy as Raptors fans, but it's not Scotty Barnes' best attribute. So we need him to just be better. We need him to just improve. And, you know, Juancho needs to provide more on offense. He was all right defensively tonight, but not enough to, you know, get him consistent minutes. He only got 23 minutes in this one. All right, Delano came in at the end of this game, 2 of 6 from the field. Was okay. Chris Boucher at least got a few rebounds in this one, 11-14. Thaddeus Young got 17 minutes, but his lack of floor spacing is killing us. But, you know, even though he's been knocking down his threes lately, but he's just not naturally like one of those stretch 4, stretch 5s. But he's been good. 17 minutes for him. Like, if you just look at this Raptors roster right now, with OG, with Gary Trent Jr., with Precious Achiuwa, with Otto Porter Jr. out, we're not a deep roster. We are not a deep team. We knew this coming into the season. And when 4 key rotation players are out, we're just not going to be able to win games. And I think we've been underestimating the value of Precious Achiuwa, of an Otto Porter Jr. And I just want to end this video off with a little segment I created today. But a Raptors therapy session. We need to come together, folks, as a Raptors fan. Get rid of those tanks. Hope for wins. It's still too early to be jumping on the tank wagon. We might be naturally going in that direction if we can't win games, so we're still suffering injuries and stuff. But I don't want us to be giving up, losing hope on this team. Or I gave some positives at the beginning of this podcast. I talked about some negatives. I won't even want to dive into like our regular segments of this one. I just want a little Raptors therapy group. And we're 13-16 right now. You don't want to be, you know, the 11th, 12th seed come June. I completely get it. But this Raptors team, just from last year, we have more talent this year than we did last season. And that's solely off the fact we brought in a 7-footer that can play a certain position. I know Koloko's not been great, but like in recent games. But he's going to be he's still a great draft pick. But growing pains happen with rookie centers. But we just basically added a guy that was a starter on a championship team, you know, or at least started through playoff moments in a championship team, to a core group last year that was 5th in the Eastern Conference, right? We are more talented. We basically took our roster, brought it back this year, and added Otto Porter Jr. But 1, we haven't been healthy. 2, when we've been healthy, right, when we got, or semi-healthy, right, we've just had guys sort of not looking engaged. Defensively, our schemes just aren't working. And 3, we've not been consistent from behind the 3-point line. And law of averages states, whether it happens this year or next year, that's got to get fixed at some point, right? We brought up a stat how no key rotation player is shooting over 33%, or maybe it was 35%, from the 3-point line this year, and you're just not going to win games if that's the case. So that's 3 things just absolutely tying down this Raptors team from any possible growth that we want to go through. And, you know, like, those things can change. They can get fixed. All hope is not lost for us making a playoff run this year. But if they don't get fixed, if we don't end that direction, I don't think we should end up trying to trade everyone, tank everyone. We have a lot of talent on this team. It's not smart to sell low unless you think you can't play players or pay players. And honestly, the way Fred and Gary Trent Jr. have played this season, it might be smart to bring them back on their lower market values than they may have had, coming into this season as we may expect it. So, like, I'm not big on blowing up this team right now. And maybe that's me as my Raptors therapist jacket that I've got going. I whipped this up literally in like 5 minutes before this video, before recording this video, but I'm swiping away the tanks at least for now. I think we should still look to win. I think we should still hope players come back, not build up a losing culture, and definitely don't make like a little fire sale like people have been calling for in the comment sections, at least just yet. See how this team plays out, see what ends up occurring, and trust this Raptor squad, because usually selling low for a Fred VanVleet for like a Cole Anthony package or something dumb like that would just suck. If we do that Patrick Williams deal, maybe that's a little bit better, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of Raptors fans, and I joked in our Discord throwing in some tank emojis, as I always, I'm always memeing a little bit when the Raptors are losing games, but level-headed, like, these are the moments where good franchises sort of separate themselves when things aren't going right, just like the Golden State Warriors. Right, when they had their teardowns, sure, they had some injuries that helped facilitate that, but they didn't trade away all their key assets. They didn't trade away all their main players and say, "Oh, let's ruin the squad and all that." We are a couple of tweaks away from not only getting back to where we were last year, but potentially extending that. And a lot of our team is really young. Our vets are not like in their late 30s by any means. We can still tweak this thing together. Whether it gets fixed this season, whether my prediction of top 3 seed comes true or not, right? We can tweak this thing to make it better. It might take this season, might take next year. We might naturally end up tanking for Wembanyama anyways if this team continues to struggle, but I don't want to see us absolutely blow up the roster. I think changes do need to be made. I think they can be made sort of around the fringes for right now, but I don't think it's smart to just sell low on our guys mid-December when there's still a lot of time coming the trade deadline. There's still a lot of time to evaluate this roster to see things potentially get worse, but I don't know. I just want to calm Raptors fans down and give my take on it all at least. But I could be wrong. Didn't want us to tank the year we got Scotty Barnes. That ended up working out positively for us. But let me know what you guys think. I don't want us to play in the play-in. But so if we do have a losing record come March or something, I would like to start really losing games, and I'll jump into the tank. But I don't think we should just have a fire sale of any of our players. But let me know what you guys think. You guys are the best to make this far. Definitely sign up for CoolBet down below if you guys haven't already. It's free to sign up. It helps us out big time. And subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. Lots of fun stuff coming. But you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.